enterprising. You have always, parang nakikita ko kasi you also have the, for the memory keepers who don't know, you also have luxury cars Manila, and then you have this, right?
Yes. The luxury car side, my dad started it.
Yeah.
I've always grown up in the car business.
Yeah.
So even when I was in,
It's nice.
even when I was in college, I was the purchasing agent for my dad when I was in the U.S. and I would ship cars here. So, and when I was growing up as a kid, every summertime I would work for my dad, you know, either cleaning cars or sumasama ako when he delivers and talks to clients. So over the years, it's in my blood.
Second, parang this is so natural for you. It's like breathing.
It's passion.
It's
So,
passion.
yeah.
So ever since you were young, you were already exposed to all these cars, the business of cars.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the Instagram, no,
Yes.
of Luxury Cars Manila. And I see that you also, ano bang term dito? Armored vehicle? Ano bang term sa mga ballistic proof? Or wala, as you were saying, wala namang ballistic proof na sasakyan talaga.
Here in the Philippines, they call it bulletproof.
Bulletproof.
But you know, as much as I try to educate people that there's no such thing as bulletproof, yun ang ginagamit na term eh. So I said, what the hell? So I kept on using bulletproof. We also own a page called Bulletproof Cars Manila. So I also own that page. But there's no such thing as a bulletproof vehicle. It's only bullet resistant.
Bullet resistant.
Yeah.
There is a market now, no, for nahawa na rin ako for bulletproof cars, no?
There's a pretty big and growing market for these vehicles.
All right. Thriving siya ngayon, no?
I wouldn't call it thriving. I'd say it's more steady because people are realizing that, you know, we live in very interesting times.
That's one way of putting it. Yes, very interesting times. Yes. Because I follow you guys on Facebook, and well, sometimes I also daydream that one day I'll be able to afford one of these cars, because hindi mo rin masabi. As you were saying, we do live in very interesting times. How much would one kahit entry-level bulletproof car, how much will that set you back?
Yeah, an entry level, I'll give you an example. Like a Fortuner, for instance, would set you back around 5.5, including the car.
Including the car. And a regular Fortuner is mga one.
No, regular Fortuner is about 2.4.
2.4. So it's going to be times 2 talaga.
Times 2.
Not everyone kasi knows a lot about bulletproof cars. How come bigla siyang mata times 2? What's ano ba cost of production dyan?
Well, first of all, just to armor a vehicle, you have the labor of dismantling the whole car. You know, you're literally dismantling it to the skin.
Okay.
You take out everything, including the electronics. So you have to armor plate the front firewall, the sides, the roof, the flooring.
What's a front firewall?
The front firewall is basically that wall between the engine and the cabin.
All right.
Kung saan, you know the steering wheel, right?
Yeah,
steering wheel, and there's that wall right here.
Yeah.
When you open the hood, where the engine compartment ends.
Yes.
And the passenger compartment begins.
Okay.
That's what you call the firewall.
All right. So what you really armor is just where the passenger, where people will be. You don't armor. Misconception kasi na iba minsan, it's the whole car from the hood to all the way to the back.
The battery, the computer box, the fuel tank. They're all armored. You have to armor it.
Okay.
But the engine itself, you can't armor the engine bay because then you're prone to overheating.
Walang
ventilation.
Walang ventilation.
Yes.
There's this common misconception that yes, it's armored. Yes, it'll save you from any attack. Pero they're also saying that sometimes it could be a death trap if you get into an accident, a high-speed accident. Is there any truth to that? Na pwede ka matrap sa likod if the structure of the car gets compromised? Is it easy to get out of an armored vehicle?
It really depends on how the collision happens.
Yeah.
I mean, even in a non-armored car, if the collision is such a way that it crumples the car, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the armored vehicle actually gives more structural integrity to the car
That's true.
because it gives you more
Yeah. It's
stiffness.
more it's more sturdy, you
It's
know.
more sturdy.
All right. So wala naman palang wala naman yung misconception na yun because people were thinking that it's not that safe. Pero what are so you're safe from any ballistic attack, pero what's one disadvantage of having an armored vehicle? Can you bring down the window? Is it pwede ka ba mag-drive through sa McDonald's?
No.
No, you can't.
Usually the window goes down about 6 inches.
Yes,
It's usually called just a document pass-through. Like even sa toll gate, hindi mo naman, you can't like reach out.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want is, if for some reason, I mean, you're using the car every day, usually.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they buy an armored vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So there will come a time that mechanism of that window is going to give up.
All right.
It's heavy.
Okay.
That window is about this thick.
Yeah.
It's about 47 millimeters
Yeah.
thick.
Yeah.
And it's made of 7 or 8 ply resin.
What's a ply resin?
It's basically plastic. It's not glass. It's plastic that's compressed.
Wow, I learn something new every day.
It's plastic.
All right. You know, this is so surreal to me right now because I've watched so many of your videos and then hearing it live across the table. It's so surreal to me. So, all right. Eventually, the motor will give out. I didn't know that.
Eventually, the motor will give out. And if for some reason you're McDonald's and you pull down the window and the window's all the way down and you're trying to pull it up and it won't go up, then you're stuck with an armored vehicle with the window down.
So, is it discouraged if you buy an armored vehicle? O, wag niyo muna ibaba yung window. Or is it, kasi you were saying in all your videos that I've watched, hindi naman pwede sa S-Lex or N-Lex that you have to open your door all the time. That's one advantage of your inventory na they're able to roll down the window. Pero when they buy it from you, do you say, can you limit the use of the window?
I always tell the client there will come a time that mechanism will give up. And we hope that when that happens, you're not in a situation wherein you need it up. If you don't need it to come down,
don't use
don't.
it.
Open the door. You know, even sa toll gate, you have to open the door because you can't really, kasi medyo malayo, di ba?
Yes.
So,
yes.
and the toll gate lady is not gonna go, hindi naman siya lalapit sa'yo. So, it's best if you just open the door and stick your hand out and give her the money.
Yeah. So, with the armored vehicles, there are armoring companies.
Yes.
And do you get specifically from one company or who? Because I have no idea
There's
how it
several
works.
companies. Here in the Philippines, there's a lot now. Marami na.
Naga-armor.
There's a lot.
So you can buy a car brand new and send it to
Have
them.
it armored, yeah.
Okay.
But majority of the people, when they look for an armored vehicle, they're in a hurry.
Yeah. Yes.
Because there's threat or something like that.
Yeah.
Or sometimes if they want to replace the vehicle that they have, they can wait. But majority of the time, I'm dealing with first-time buyers or people that need it now. So we usually keep stuff in stock.
Yeah.
We have several units that are imported, and we have units that are locally made. So it depends on the vehicle.
What's the most reliable unit? Aside from, because I'm hearing a lot of Land Cruisers na armored and most dependable daw.
The Land Cruiser is extremely reliable because number one, the suspension is I mean, they use it in the desert.
Yeah.
So 4x4, baliwala yan. The Land Cruisers are great. The Fortuners are great. Any Toyota vehicle is pretty good. I mean, in my experience.
Ang dami nga nagsasabi that Toyotas are really good.
I mean, the Escalade is pretty okay.
Yeah.
Comfortable naman siya, but unfortunately, the parts aren't readily available.
All right.
Then you have a little bit of downtime, but
Yeah.
it is an impressive vehicle. Seeing
Yeah.
it on the road.
Yeah.
Tsaka masarap sakyan.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for comfort, and reliability, I think the Land Cruiser is probably the most reliable and comfortable among.
All right. Amongst all of the inventory that you have.
Yeah.
Is it yung the nimbleness of the car, is it compromised because of all that extra weight?
Definitely.
So the person driving it needs to be trained, needs to have some know-how on the physics of the vehicle.
I think it's more of getting used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell the driver, you're driving a truck.
Yeah.
You're driving a 16-wheeler truck. You're not driving a sports car. So when you're in front of another vehicle, you can't be tailgating the other car.
Yeah.
Because when it comes time that he emergency brakes, because of the law of inertia, you're not going to be able to brake on time, and you're going to catch him.
Wow, things that you don't consider when you're in a normal car. So the whole yung stock knowledge mo on how to drive a regular car, once you get into an armored vehicle, you have to reacquaint yourself.
It's out the window.
Wow.
And then there's another misconception that the first thing people ask me is, are the brakes upgraded? Do you replace the brake rotors, this and that? A lot of people don't understand. It's not the brake rotors and it's not the brake pads that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's the brake line.
It'll snap?
No. The brake line on stock vehicles is rubber. So when you're stopping a vehicle that's 1 ton more heavier than a normal vehicle, then the brake fade comes from the brake fluid going in and out, the friction. So if you have a rubber brake line, it expands. When it expands, then you have less stopping power.
All right.
So the first thing I asked them to replace is the brake lines. We change them to stainless steel brake lines so it doesn't fade.
All right.
So, and then you can upgrade the brake pads, you can upgrade the rotors.
Okay. Do you do that with your inventory, or the customer has to be the one to do that?
It depends on the client. I always tell the client, and most clients will say, sige, palitan natin, and then it's a little bit extra cost.
That's a good thing. At least you'll already customize to the need.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And in your videos, before we go to your YouTube channel, your videos, I've seen this on Facebook, at least you really exert effort to educate the buyer. Before, wala naman ganyan eh. Did you always have this, Did you always have this motivation that I need to educate people about armored cars? Or was this a business plan?
I think for me is what sets it apart. I don't really care if the person buys from me, but at least they know what they're buying.
Yeah.
So if they buy from somebody else, they know what to do, what to ask, the proper questions and everything else. Hopefully they buy from me, but it's never a guarantee. For me, if I educated someone on this specific thing that could save their life, then it's more than its weight in gold.
That's good. That's good. You're a pioneer with this, with the videos on armored vehicles. I don't see anyone else doing it.
We try.
You're a pioneer on this. I have to ask a stupid question. I'm sorry. There are no stupid questions, but this one was sent to me. Can you armor a Ferrari?
One of my friends who's I went to college with, it wasn't a Ferrari. It was a 996 turbo. It was a Porsche. And
you can? Wow, I thought
he actually his family's from Mexico.
Yeah.
Not Mexico Pampanga, but Mexico.
Mexico, the real Mexico.
Yeah, it was one of my classmates from college. And I went to visit him, and he showed up at the airport with in Mazatlan in 996 turbo that's armored.
Wow.
And I'm like, why the hell do you have this thing armored? But, so he said, it's for safety. But so that was the first time in my life I saw a sports car that's armored.
Wow, it wasn't such a stupid question after all. Wow, so you can armor it.
I've never seen a Ferrari that's armored, though. I've never seen one.
Yeah, but I'm thinking plus a Porsche. That's a Porsche already defies the laws of physics by having the engine in the back. That's armored pa.
Yep.
Wow, so it can be done.
It was a handgun. It was armored up to handgun protection though.
Okay.
It was they used, I think, lightweight armor.
Mm-mm.
They used composite material.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up. Because there are levels, no,
There are
of
levels.
armoring. Ano ba yung levels na yun of armoring a vehicle?
Level 3 and 4 is handgun.
Mhm.
Level 5 and 6 is more your automatic rifles.
Is this the one where you mentioned B6?
Yes.
Why is there a B? It's ballistic?
No, there's different ratings. There's
Yeah.
CEN, there's NATO, there's different rating companies
Yeah.
rate the ballistic effectiveness of steel and glass and ballistic. They call it transparent armor. Yung glass.
Yeah.
It's in our world, it's called transparent armor.
Yeah.
So the way that these companies, there's NATO, there's CEN. I forgot what it stands for, but
Yeah.
it's a ratings company.
Yeah.
They shoot 3 bullets in a 120 millimeter triangle.
Okay.
So they shoot 3 shots.
Mm-hmm.
And if none of the bullets go through,
Mm-hmm.
that specific steel
Mhm.
or that specific transparent armor passes a test.
All right. Okay.
So,
that's sometimes it's confusing for a lot of the people who are not used to bulletproof. Parang pag sinabi nilang bulletproof, it's already any kind of weapon, any assault rifle.
Yes.
Immediately they're protected, but that's not the case.
There's different classifications for different threat levels.
Okay.
That's why when somebody calls me up, asking about a bulletproof vehicle, the first thing I ask is, let's assess your threat level. You know, do you have immediate threat, or are you just paranoid, or is it just for your peace of mind?
That's good.
So that's when you actually match the right vehicle for the right person.
Okay.
You don't want to be driving a clunky vehicle if you really don't have any threat.
And then there's still may bomb-proof pa.
There's really no bomb-proof.
Yeah, because I'm hearing all these things. Sorry, I'm bringing you all the misconceptions.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
This is a way for people to get educated.
Yeah.
If I, first of all, on a moving vehicle,
Okay.
if somebody throws a grenade underneath, the chances of that grenade actually exploding right underneath a car is pretty slim. Because number one, it's a moving car. Number two, the grenade is bilog.
Yeah.
So, parehong gumagalaw
Yeah.
yan. So, chances are, if somebody throws a grenade underneath your car
Yeah.
and you're moving
Uh,
and the grenade is moving,
Yeah.
it's going to end up hitting another vehicle.
uh,
Like solid, another vehicle.
Yeah. Yep.
Bad for the other vehicle. But in the case of the target vehicle, may ballistic protection naman yung floor.
all right.
So, it won't guarantee that the car won't be destroyed,
Yeah.
won't flex, or it won't bend,
Yeah.
but at least masasalo niya yung impact. Masasalo yung fragments.
Oh, yeah. All the shrapnel.
All the shrapnel
Yeah.
is the main job of the vehicle is to keep the VIP alive.
alive. Ang galing, no? Parang actually what you're selling is time.
You're selling. That's all that it is. You're
selling-
buying time.
You're buying time, no? You're selling them time for you to recover.
Because what I always tell, whenever somebody takes delivery of an armored car from me, I always tell the client, the job of this vehicle is to get you out
Yes.
to safety. It's not for you to open the window and start shooting back,
Yeah.
because it's just not going to turn out well.
I remember one of your videos. That's the job of your backup.
It's the job of your backup.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have a backup because you're not really at that level,
Yeah.
you're not a politician or an Uber millionaire,
Yeah.
billionaire,
Yeah.
then it becomes more of your job to get out of that hot zone.
Yeah.
Trust me, when an assassin starts chasing you down and they start shooting at your vehicle,
Yeah.
they're as afraid as you are. Because they don't know what to expect.
Yeah, the adrenaline's kicking in.
Adrenaline's kicking in, and even the pros, they start shooting at the vehicle and they see that it's impenetrable, and they can't, they're not going to keep shooting a handgun, especially if the person's riding in tandem.
Yeah,
and they're going to ubusin nila yung magazine, and they see it's not going through. Trust me, they're going to go.
Yeah,
they're going to try again later on, maybe if you're outside.
Yeah,
but your job is to
get out of there,
or at least hit them.
Yeah,
hit them with your car, ram them with your car.
Yeah,
but to fight back, it's a moot point. It's exercise in futility.
Baka yung iba kasi feeling adventurous, open the door, shoot back. So okay, basically you're there. The vehicle is there to buy you more time, to help you maneuver, get out of the kill zone.
Yes, the kill zone. Even Jason Bourne would not fight back.
Yeah, it's time to get out if you have if there's an assailant. All right, pero in today's as you were saying, we're living in very interesting times.
Yes.
Is there more of a need, or is there an increase of buyers for armored vehicles?
There's a lot more activity, I would say. There's a lot more people inquiring.
Non-politicians or
regular business owners.
Wow.
I just sold the Fortuner yesterday to a regular business person from the province who flew in and looked at the car, test drove it, and said, okay, paid it. That's it.
Grabe. I'm getting surprised sometimes with the number of armored vehicles out there. But the primary purpose of an armored vehicle, aside from protection and buying you time, is to really blend in.
Yes.
Blend in, no? I've seen some people kasi putting rims, putting all these things in their armored vehicles. So you highly discourage that.
I always tell clients, you want to be innocuous.
Yeah.
You want to be extremely
unnoticeable.
Unnoticeable.
Yeah.
You don't want a pink Fortuner. You don't want a pink Montero Sport.
Yes.
That screams, I'm level 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, iba kasi that's part of their personality, that they really want to stand out. But aside from armored vehicles, Luxury Cars Manila also sells other. I saw the Bentley, other cars.
Yes.
That's my dream car. But here it is, the one with the number 9.
Yes, that's an extremely rare car.
There is a market.
There's a market.
Dami naman billionaires ngayon dito sa...
I sold one vehicle before that I never even saw. It was brokered to China.
Okay.
One of my really good friends called me up and said, I have a friend who's looking for this car, and I found the car. They paid the car, and I shipped it from Europe, and it just went straight to the client.
Nakita ka, you also
we just broker it.
You also ship nationwide?
We ship nationwide. We deliver nationwide.
Wow.
I've delivered cars to Mindanao, to Bacolod personally.
Is the need bigger in that demographic, that area? Mindanao, Visayas?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
It just happened to be, he needed it right away, and I couldn't get a boat.
Yeah.
So I had to drive the car and roll drive.
I can deliver.
Drive. Yeah, I delivered it personally.
Wow. You do that for most of the vehicles? Or
not all the time.
Just for the close friends?
I try not to, because it's extremely tiring.
Yeah. All right.
It wasn't fun.
It wasn't fun. And I have to ask, sorry, because this is, you don't have to give me the specific figure, because I know that could be confidential. Pero a car like that Bentley, that's limited, what's the ballpark figure on that?
With taxes and everything, you're probably looking upwards of 35, 40.
35, 40. Yeah. Wow. Grabe. Ang dami ko na magagawa sa 35, 40.
Yeah.
But that's disposable income for some kasi.
For some people, it's it's a trophy.
Yeah.
You know, and chances are, if somebody purchases something like that, they have 5 or 6.
Yeah.
They have a stable.
They have a collection.
They have a collection.
Wow.
And most of these guys are self-made guys, and you'd be amazed.
Dami nga ngayon dito sa Philippines. Parang wala ka sa Manila minsan eh.
Yeah, and sometimes sometimes it irks me because sometimes I see comments on my page saying, "Oh, politician na naman bumili niyan." We have to kind of give credit to some people who really work their asses off.
Yeah.
And there's a lot here in the Philippines. There's a lot of really smart people.
Yeah.
Really, really industrious people, and I've met a lot of really successful people who never even finished high school.
That's true.
They've built billion-dollar businesses.
From the ground up talaga.
From the ground up. And for them to own cars like these, they don't owe anybody anything. And it's their trophy.
That's a nice trophy. That's a nice trophy. I just have to ask, why is there a number 9 on that Bentley?
Because it was, this was the commemorative car that Sir Thomas Birkin drove in Le Mans. Birkin, as in Thomas Birkin, is in the inspiration for the Hermès Birkin bag. Which, Sir Thomas Birkin.
Wow.
So he drove a Bentley. It was a Bentley race car.
Wow. Wala akong masabi. I can't say anything, but damn, that's amazing. Before we end, I just want to promote this YouTube channel. So we can just talk about real quick the King Panda YouTube channel. Currently, now at already 1,000. I hate this new rules ng YouTube that you can't show the numbers anymore. Currently at 1.07 subscribers. Oh, that's. When did you start with your YouTube channel?
I started the YouTube channel, I believe, 3 years ago.
3 years ago. And then what made you decide that you should start a YouTube channel?
It was more of the bodybuilding content.
Yeah.
And I was just going to focus mainly on bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And at that point, I really didn't care about subscribers or anything. If you notice, it's just 40 views, 30 views. And then, I started becoming more lifestyle-based.
Yeah.
And more people started messaging me saying, sir, maybe you could do this, do that. And, a lot of our subscribers, we kind of want to listen to what they have to say. So we started giving them more content, and the more content and the more diverse the content, it seemed like the more people got interested.
And at least game na game ka. And I saw that you were doing the no makeup look.
Oh, that was
I mean,
that was crazy.
For someone who's in your line, who it's very masculine, it's bodybuilding, it's armored vehicles. At least you know how to make fun of yourself. You don't take yourself too seriously. So that's a huge plus, especially in social media. And there was I saw this one. Yeah, the no makeup look. Not everyone will be up to that, Hans, and that's a big thing.
It's actually very hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I found I always made fun of my wife. Why it took them such a long time to put on freaking makeup. And after this, I'm like,
you have newfound respect.
Yeah, I had newfound respect.
Sabi mo nga dun sa beginning, ano ba yan? Magme-makeup pero no makeup look. Parang, that was your line. I remember.
Why would we put makeup on something that you don't want people to know that you are wearing? But it's actually a lot of effort.
Yeah, that's the world of women. It's very difficult to understand at times. All right, so I saw this, and then I also saw that yun nga, one thing I really like about you, you're a content creator now. Whether you like it or not, you're a YouTuber, content creator. The channel is there. And there's this one interview. You were in the car. Someone was asking you parang a number of questions.
Yes.
And then you weren't afraid to mention that you're bothered by roaches.
Yes. You
Yeah.
actually saw that episode?
I saw.
My God.
I research. I do my best to research on the guests. So at least there, you're already super macho na, you have bulletproof cars, and you're not afraid to mention that. The reason why I'm saying this now is so that yung mga iba kasi na gusto mag-start ng YouTube channel, they feel like they have to project a very perfect identity or someone who is infallible, na kailangan lahat ng sabihin ko tama, lahat ng gawin ko tama. But for you, at least you're very open to show some of your flaws. Wala kang sasabihin ko, Keme. Nahahawa ako sa inyo. Wala kang hesitation to even put on makeup.
Yeah.
Oh, have you always been that game?
Well, it actually started. One of the things that I haven't really revealed a lot before was I was in. We did 3 episodes of 24 with Kiefer.
Oh,
I was an extra.
wow.
We were there. The assistant director was a really good friend of mine from college, so kailangan daw nila ng big guys na
Cool.
Asian. So I was one of the henchmen.
Wow, sana Lester can find it.
And I'll send you a clip. Actually.
24, baka hindi na alam.
It's
He's young.
24. It was 3 episodes. And I somehow caught a little bit of the acting bug at that time. So we started taking some classes with some friends. And there was one seminar that Anthony Hopkins did that we were in.
You met him?
Well,
You saw him?
I actually met him at Jerry's Deli.
Damn.
He was sitting at the eating, and I walked up to him and I said, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
And he looked up to me and said, what was your favorite movie? I said, Remains of the Day.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and said, you actually saw that movie? I said, yeah. So, but anyway, that was after. But before, when he was doing the seminar, one thing really struck me. He said, it's the imperfections that make you perfect.
Yeah, that's true.
He said, so, and that kind of stuck with me. We're never perfect.
Yep. But the problem is now with the social media, people, there's a lot of fake things happening. Right.
Fake news.
Yeah. So at least I really commend the guests that we have, because I do my best to research. And I really like it that you show your flaws in your content, and you're able to really show your subscribers na in the beginning or when you start, not everything is going to be 100% right, not everything's going to be correct, and you're willing to progress with your content, with your channel. So sorry, Street, last na. I just want to see the very first one, just the very first video, the very first upload. I can't deny the spill the beans tradition. Just the very first upload of King
I
Panda.
can't even remember which one it was.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
King Panda.
The reason I do this, it's just to show everyone that not everything is perfect on the first go. Para they can also be inspired to start their own channel. Wow, cooking show. But ang galing naman ng After Effects.
A friend of mine did that for me, and that was really,
Yeah. Do you? So you have a videographer now. You also do you employ because I used to do this. We had an After Effects artist, and then Lester would handle the editing. Do you have
I have one videographer who's also my editor.
Yeah.
Was also my After Effects guy. And
Strito, marunong siya mag After Effects.
yeah.
Hindi, biro lang. Baka mas-sensitive sa Lester. So he's doing the video.
He's doing the video, pre and post.
Yeah.
He does
After Effects pa.
After Effects.
All right.
We also have a graphics artist who does the maintenance on the website.
Okay.
Who does all the artwork for Luxury Cars Manila, for Reborn, for King Panda.
Okay.
So we have a very small team.
No, that's good. That's actually a good team to work with.
Yep.
So they handle mostly website and the YouTube channel.
Yes.
All right. Ito dito, you're just talking about what you're cooking?
Yes. This is this was a request from a bunch of the followers, saying, asking how can they make chicken tasty? Because most bodybuilders eat boiled chicken.
Yeah.
So I started doing some recipes and some things to make it taste good without compromising the macro makeup of the dish. So it doesn't violate the goal.
I'm sorry, last question. What's the difference ba with macro? Hindi ko alam kasi ang macro and your macro needs and the macro.
So in nutrition you have calories.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody is so obsessed with calories.
Yes.
But calories don't mean anything.
Okay.
Because you can literally have 2,500 calories of all fat.
Yeah.
And 2,500 calories of a balanced diet.
Okay.
So what I always try to tell people is look at your macronutrient. Now, what are your macronutrients? Your macronutrients are your carbs, your protein, and your fat.
Gotcha. Yun pala.
For every gram of carbs and every gram of protein is 2 calories.
All right. Gotcha.
For every gram of fat is 9 calories.
Oh, thank you.
So
now I know.
There you go.
Now I know. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. O sige, Lester, take us home na. Duty niya kasi yung opening and close.
Opening and closing. So, Memory Keepers, thank you again so much for watching our Spill the Beans podcast.
Parang malungkot ka.
Hindi naman.
Okay.
And for Hans, also known as King Panda, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting.
Thank you. Very refreshing content.
Yes.
Thank you.
For the Memory Keepers and the future subscribers, we'll post the link of the King Panda social media accounts from YouTube to Instagram to his Facebook. It'll just be on the description box below. And Memory Keepers, please support, subscribe, follow, and i-share nyo naman.
Yes. And of course, available din ang ating podcast sa Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Google Podcast, and iba pang platform kung gusto nyong pakinggan sa mga podcast.
Napagod na si Lester.
Hindi
naman. Okay.
Nagutom kasi ako sa prep meal. Parang gusto ko kumain.
Nakagutom na. Okay. So Memory Keepers, thank you very much. Thank you for watching another episode of Spill the Beans, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.